All right, hello, I welcome you back to another weekly edition of Stock Market Mutterings. This is for the week ending on August 19th. That's it, August 19th, where I'll do my best to try to find you some quality trading setups for the week. As always, if you need help with your personal trading, you're trying to take your trading to the next level, go to thelincolnlist.com, click on our Trade Room tab, and you can start trading with us live, take advantage of our seasoned mentors and our trading experience and help get your trading to another level. Now, let's start talking about this market, because midweek on Wednesday, the tariffs were really starting to press this market. You started to see some pretty good selling in the market. And it started to look like, I'm going to just kind of highlight it on this bottom chart if you look here. There on Wednesday, it really started to look, as the market was accelerating, like, oh wow, the 50 moving average might come into play today. And the 50 moving average on the daily chart, I'm looking at a daily chart, by the way, down bottom, hasn't been in play since the 4th of July. I mean, that's the last time the market was around its 50 moving average. So since then, for an entire month, it's more than that, actually more than a month, it's stayed above that. And here, just like a snap of the finger, it looks like, oh wow, here in a couple of days, we're just right down here looking at that, and then possibly that 50 moving average getting taken out and going down to this 200. So there was this period on Wednesday where you're like, hey, this selling is starting to accelerate. Wow, no worries. This little Chinese and the American meeting about the tariffs by two lower ranking officials that have no authority to make any trade deals are going to meet in a room somewhere and talk about a trade deal was good enough. Because as soon as that hit, man, it was just game over, especially for the Dow. I'm going to pull up a chart of the YM futures here. I mean, this thing went 400. I mean, you can see the much different than the SPY. Of course, the Dow component stocks were more tariff threatened than the E-minis. I'm calling them E-minis, the SPYs. But you see it, 400 points, and then you got a little extra tariff news there on Friday where it was like, we're going to try for November, you know, try to fix it by November, and the market really took it. And that's how people react to the market. That's kind of like you say, hey, I'm going to try to lose 10 pounds. Try. So anyway, doesn't matter. It did what it did. Pretty bullish. So now that's just kind of eased the tensions. We might get yet again that kickback up to the highs. I mean, we were talking about that. And one of the things when I looked at the market originally was the last time I thought it went through 280. I thought that's where we were going to go. We're going right back to those all-time highs from January. And then it got sold off. This last breakout that happened at the beginning of this month, it got rejected, and here you are again. So if you can clear that, let me give you the highs. You probably already know it's 286.82 area. Let's just say 287. If you can get back up to 285.80 through 286, excuse me, we should be good to go. So that's your deal there with the SPY. Now let's look at some names here, okay? Because money's starting to cycle around the wagon here. I don't know what still. The world wants some frickin' retail stocks. We've been talking about this for months upon months. I mean, you had JWN, I think it was. I think I'm saying that ticker right on Friday. Yeah, JWN. I mean, outside of Macy's, these things are just flying. This BURL, look at this BURL, Burlington stores, the old Burlington coat factory. I mean, this thing's flagging up tightly on the daily. It looks like it wants to go higher. Of course, if it breaks the highs there on the daily, I wouldn't know why it wouldn't go higher. We've been talking about the last couple of weeks about LULU. You know, this is one that I've traded over and over again. They just continue to find a way to go up. I just put BURL on this list, but I'm sure if you do a little bit more research, you do some digging, you're going to find you've seen big moves like RH, for example. I mean, these things have just been on fire. The street wants these things. So, you know, with tariffs off the table here, at least for the short term, providing there's not another piece of news that comes out there. I don't know why these names don't wiggle up a little bit more. Now, that's that side of the equation. Let's go to the other side that was the sweet spot while all of this tariff stuff was going on. And was the highlight of the year has been tech names and stuff like that. They didn't do so good, I think, through earnings. Yes, all of them beat earnings, but their guidance wasn't so good. You had the big FANG names at Google, Netflix, Amazon, Facebook, Apple. I say you could split right down the middle. You know, half of them did good, the other half disappointed. And you had NVIDIA that came out there on Thursday, obviously disappointing there too. Yes, they made money, but there was a lot of perfection priced into these names, so it's understandable. I bring you to Facebook first because this thing is just unable to rally whatsoever with the market, period. So there's a couple of trades that work on this thing. The first being if Monday rolls around and I think you get some really heavy panic selling and you get down to about the 167 mark, which was the lows, post-earnings lows going down around 7:30, July 30th. If you get down there and it's an aggressive selling move, I wouldn't be opposed to counter trending that move, just for a trade, not for something I'm going to hold for a long period of time. But I would be looking for that. If it gets down to support and that's immediate, quick flush, straight into that, I'd look for it. If this thing continues to behave like it has, which is spikes get faded, makes lower lows continually, I think this is a short. And if it loses that 167 and it's in a more methodical approach rather than an aggressive bury down into that number, I think this thing's going to end up just bleeding to death down to 160. Watch this thing. Same goes for Netflix because Netflix has already done that. And this is what I'll show you. Maybe what you're going to see on the chart is, it took out its double bottom. So you have the same look down here at this bottom chart you can see as you did with Facebook, except for Facebook is about right here in the sequence. Once it broke that low right there, I mean, look how it continued to trade lower. So you might see something like that. Same here with NVIDIA. I think some of these open up the door to some potential shorting if you see methodical fades. Now, a methodical fade is grinding, failed breakouts, lower lows, that kind of stuff, yes. On the flip side of that, any of these, like I mentioned with Facebook, that just drive right down, a gap down and flush, panic selling, I'm a buyer then. I'll be a buyer down. But you got 240 you have to be thinking about here for NVIDIA. Stock's been going up for forever, it seems like. So keep an eye on that NVIDIA. Last one I'll throw out here for you guys is the Etsy. Can't believe I'm talking about Etsy. I mean, look at this daily chart, just tightening up real tight after earnings. Got sold off a little bit, went down into the 50 moving average, but if you see where I got the alert, 47.63, I think if you're strong in the markets, you're strong overall, 47.53 goes, then you're going to see this thing get back to $50 before the week is over. So we're looking at SPY, BURL, or any kind of retail that you're looking there. Facebook, Netflix, NVIDIA, and Etsy. Will we trade them? I have absolutely no idea because anything can happen at any time. But we'll see if some of these turn into some pretty good trades throughout the week. As always, if you need help with your trading, you know where I'm at. You can always send me an email, support@thelincolnlist.com. Thanks for watching this market mutterings and video. Until next week, trade well and take care.